Mike from Party for Crafts back again. I've been doing laser cutting videos for quite some time, and I just got a eufyMake E1 UV printer, and today I'm going to be showing you how I did this stained glass Suncatcher design that combined both the laser cutter and the UV printer. First, I want to show you, though, this was the first one that I did, and I made a bit of a mistake with it. It looks great right here when I'm holding it up to the light, but if I lay it down against a background, you can see that doesn't look right. Basically, what happened here is I did it as two separate layers, the color layer and then the black parts. I wanted them to be thicker, so I did them separately. And to make them thicker, it uses white resin to lift it up, and then it prints black over it. But the white resin is showing around the outsides of the black, and that's called choke. And there's a setting in the software for you to adjust the choke so that it doesn't do that. If I put it on like something white, it looks fine because the white blends right in with it. Or if I hold it up to light, it looks good. But when it's on dark backgrounds, you can see the white underlayment showing through. So I'm going to fix that on the software. I have one more blank that I cut on my laser, and then we're going to see how this second one comes out. I will switch over now, and I'll show you in the software side how I did it. Basically, the image was done in Microsoft Copilot, and then I used a website called Photopea to extract the black layer and separate it from the color layer. Brought that over into Inkscape to convert it all to SVGs to import into the eufyMake software. And in Inkscape, I added the two loops to the top so that I could attach a chain to it or suction cups or something if it's going to go on glass. And then all of that comes together. The outline with the loops goes to the laser, and we cut out the blanks out of clear acrylic. And then the rest of it goes in the eufyMake software to print on the laser cut blank. All right, I'll go get it started, and we'll see how this try 2 comes out. Okay, here we are in Microsoft Copilot, and you can pause the video later and get the exact prompt that I used here. It's nothing special, but I upload a picture of the family along with that prompt, and then I let Copilot do its thing. I cut out some time here. It didn't actually work this fast, but the final product in 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. There it is. Now I switched over to the software Photopea, which is like Photoshop, but online and free. And here I'm going to extract the black layer so I can take it over into Inkscape and use the outline to make the cutout that I will use in the laser. So I do select color range, and I adjust that until it's just getting the black parts that I want. And you can see the image changing there as I move that slider left and right. Click OK, and then I'm going to copy the selection by going Edit Copy, and then when I paste it, it makes a separate layer that you'll see off on the right. Now I have a layer with everything and a layer with just the black layer. You can see there. So I'm going to copy this black layer by selecting All, and then going to Edit Copy. Switch over to Inkscape. And once I paste it into Inkscape, I want to trace it by going into the function called Trace Bitmap. It's under Path, and then there's Trace Bitmap. You can move some of these adjustments until it gets exactly what you want. It's going to trim it a little bit, so I can't use exact measurements to line it up with the other piece. You'll see in a minute I will align that by hand because it doesn't trace perfectly. There's some gray edges that it trims off. Confirm which copy is the SVG and delete the other one. And now I have just an SVG version of the black layer that eventually I'm going to use that. I'll put the loops on top of it, send it to the laser cutter to do the cutting, and then I will use this to print on top of the color layer to make the black part thicker so it looks more like stained glass. My organization structure for my laser files is I just give them good names that I can find later. I have some folders in here, but I have thousands of files just in the main folder, and I just give them good names so I can find them later. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the color layer, turn off the black and white layer, select all, edit copy, switch over to Inkscape, and this is just to get the sizes correct before I send it over to the eufyMake Studio software. So I'm just going to use the arrows. I'll turn down the transparency a little bit so I can see through it, so I can see what I'm doing. Do that down there at the bottom. Turn down the opacity, which turns up the transparency, I guess. Now that I can see through it, I can align them perfectly. Do left, right, top, bottom, get them all going just right. Now they're all four aligned. They should be good. And I have the two layers, turn the opacity back up to 100. And that's what it's going to look like. This isn't the exact file that I'm going to use in this final step because the first one had an extra hand, those AI errors. There was an extra hand. There was an extra hand on my daughter's shoulder that came out of nowhere. So I remade it and did this one, but this is not the final product you'll see at the end. I didn't realize that the extra hand was there until after I had produced two of them. Now I'm going to go back and add the loops to the traced layer. So to get just the very outside outline, I'm going to break it all apart. So it breaks everything apart with flat path, break apart. And then I'm going to deselect the very outer layer and then delete everything else. And that will leave me with just the outer layer. So I'm holding shift and click and hit delete, and it deleted everything except that outer layer, which is really thick. So I'm going to make it thinner, and then I'll move on to adding the circles. Okay, so now that we have the outline in Inkscape, I'm just going to use the circle tool while holding down Control to draw a perfect circle, just eyeballing about the size that I want. There's no magic number. Put it approximately where I want it. And then I'm going to hit Control D to duplicate that and move it about where I want it on the other side. I'm going to group these together so that I can, as a group, center them on the main object. So I go Object Group, and now they move around together. And so I click the group. Oh, it didn't group the first time. So I will click the group again, shift click the shape, and then go over to my alignment toolbar and align it horizontally. And now those two together are perfectly centered on that one. So I move them down a little bit. Now that they're moved, I hold Control, so it's just moving straight up and down. And now I want to duplicate this to put the hole in the center. So I hit Control D, and I go over to Scale 50% to make it smaller. And I find that to be a good size for it. Hit Apply, and now I have that small circle in the center. Do it again, but I made a mistake here. I forgot to duplicate it first. Control Z to undo, then duplicate it, and then click Apply. And now I have the two double circles. Using the node editing arrow, I click and shift click the two pieces and do path union to join them, then shift click the other circle, path union to join it also, and there you have it. There's the outline with the two loops at the top. All right, here we are in the eufyMake software, and they're on top of each other, so it's hard to tell, but there's two layers there. One is the black outline layer, and one is the color layer. So I have the black outline layer that you can see down here set to flat raised, and I have this thickness set to 0.3 millimeter color raised. And when I click off of everything, that's where you see the white underbase choke. I think the default is like 0.35 is the max, but if you shrink it too much, then the white won't cover the entire black layer, and it'll be ridged, like it'll be thicker in the middle than it is on the edges. So I'm going to put it close to that, but not all the way up, because I don't want any of that white showing up. And then the color layer is just flat CMYK one time. And that's all there is to it. I did a snapshot, and so you can kind of see this is the sticky bed, and you can see where the last one, it was a little bit bigger and got some overspray that I scraped off with a razor blade. And you can see the loops there for the actual blank that's on the bed. All right, after that, I'll click print, and you can see how long it's going to take and how much the ink is going to cost in just a moment. I'll leave this running so you can see how long it takes to process the image and send it to the device as well. You also want to make sure the quality is set to high quality. That makes a big difference, and I just do everything on high quality. All right, there it is. It's ready to go. It says it's going to take about 32 minutes and 1.5 milliliters of resin, which is about 75 cents. And this is a new thing in the most recent update. If you go to the settings and turn this on, I can start the print without even getting up out of my chair. Now you want to make sure there's no obstacles in the way. You have the doors open for the large bed and all that stuff before doing something like this. But I could just click start and it gets going without me even pressing the button on the machine. All right, it's all done. And although it didn't come out perfect, this one came out, this is the first one, and this is the second one. There's still a little bit of white showing through, but when held up to the light, it looks really good. All right, so there it is, the Suncatcher printed on clear acrylic. I think if I was going to do it again to stop with the white, it really doesn't need the black part raised up. When it's held up to the light, you can't really tell that anyhow. So I think I would just do 2 layers. I'd do the color layer, and then I would do the black layer without any raising. And I could print 3 or 4 or 5 layers of it if I wanted to, but with no white sub base. So there it is. I'm pretty happy with that. I learned a lot doing the first couple, and I will certainly do some more of these. All right, I'll see you next time.